Yes. Yes. We are back in the paddock F1. Greeny and the cheese. It's an off week. So that means we're going to head to that fantasy island, Greenville, where the beer flows like wine and the wine flows like beer. And the cannabis, oh yes, that stuff grows as far as the eyes can see. But we're not heading to the top of the hill this week. We're just here hanging out, having a good time. Like Liam Lawson, who just got demoted. Ain't that a big? And Yuki Tsunoda gets the promotion that maybe he shouldn't have taken. And he gets the extra pressure of it being his home race coming up too. Ain't that some stuff? Turn that pressure cooker up as high as you can go. Thank you, Red Bull. Thank you very much.
Well, we are caffeinated, we are medicated, and we are ready to roll. Yuki Tsunoda is heading to the top of the hill, at least for now. Obviously, going into in his home Grand Prix, you only get one of them a year. Could not have worked out better for him, but the pressure is on. You think that Liam Lawson had pressure? You think Liam Lawson had a fire under his ass to succeed? Yuki's got all the pressure in the world, but you can't do worse. There was double qualifying last week in China, and with the double qualifying, dead last in both the sprint race and the race qualifying, that is not acceptable. So I don't know what happened, because at some point Liam Lawson was the guy, right? At some point Red Bull saw him as the guy. But you look back at all the people in that number two, or the drivers in the number 2 seat that were the guy. You know, let's go back to Danny Kvyat. Let's go back to Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Sergio Perez, who did finish second a couple years ago in the drivers' championship, and now Liam Lawson. But look at it this way: you got 3 drivers in the last 4 races for Red Bull that are your guy that you're committed to. Think about that. Can you get a second Red Bull driver that can go more than 2 races? Well, you can go 3 races in a row here without his ass getting fired, because he has not looked spectacular either to start the year.
No, he hasn't. I don't know. I think this is. I mean, I've seen former drivers come out in articles and say that they wouldn't have taken the seat. Because one, the Red Bull's not a great car to drive right now. It's totally tailored to Max Verstappen as well. So unless you drive like Max, which pretty much most of the grid does not for that driving style, it's going to be tough. And he's just thrown right into the pressure cooker. Like right into the pressure cooker. There's no, we'll give you a bunch of time here. This is Red Bull, and they just pulled the hook after 2 races on somebody else. So you better bring your A game right off the bat. Like, there's no joke. Like, he has to finish in the points and consistently in the points. And I'm not just talking like, 8th, 9th, 10th. I'm talking like top 5, top 6 weekly. And he hasn't been able to do that in the Racing Bull, which is apparently an easier car to drive. So good luck with that.
Yeah, I listen, excuses. I understand this car is like built for Max, and nobody else can drive this car but Max. And it's been now, I don't know how many years, 8 seasons now. And I just went through the list of drivers that couldn't drive this vehicle as well. So I think Yuki's going to jump in there and finish. But forget about the race. Let's get to Q3. Let's get to Q2. I mean, but when's the last time we had back-to-back Red Bulls? Let's go back to Sergio Perez. How long has it been since Red Bull has gone back-to-back races where they've made it to Q3 in qualifying? I'm sure we can go back and figure. I'm sure at some point, maybe last season, but it might be 2 years since we've had a second Red Bull driver finish back-to-back races, at least even getting to Q3. So
Probably beginning of the year last year.
probably beginning of the year
The
last year,
start-
probably Australia. Yeah, the
the
first
red
couple
started,
races
all right.
when it started right for the first 3-4 races. But so you have to go back a year for Red Bull to go back-to-back races getting to Q3. So let's start there. Let's start getting on the first 5 rows to start the race for Yuki. And I think that right there is a big improvement for Red Bull, where he finishes it make it to Q3 in your home Grand Prix. Don't worry about the race. That's my opinion on it, because nobody can do it. This is a job that nobody can do, is the Red Bull second seat. It's been almost a decade, and no one can do this job. So I was trying to think of a comparison outside of, like, the U.S. government of a decade of someone not being able to do their job. But nothing comes to mind where just nobody can take this job, and they've tried and thrown just about everything at it. Because the list of drivers I went through, outside of Danny Kvyat, which there was a whole other thing there.
Curse of the second Red Bull. If you don't have 2 letters, consecutive letters in your name, you're doomed. Ricardo was the last person that was successful in the second Red Bull seat. Everybody else has failed because they don't have double letters. It's a freaky thing, but look it up. Look it up.
Wait. Explain that. I've never heard this one before.
All right. Ricardo is 2 double letters. The C is double. Verstappen, I think the P is double.
That's correct.
Kvyat does not have 2 letters in a row that are the same.
No.
Albon does not. Perez does not. Lawson does not.
That's crazy.
Weber
yeah?
doesn't have Weber didn't have double letters.
Vettel.
He struggled in the second Red.
Vettel double
did.
T?
Vettel did. It's a freaky ass thing, but it's the Red Bull, son, and it's the curse of the second seat. If you don't have the double letter, you're in trouble in the Red Bull.
All right, so here is a list of current drivers that have double letters in their name. You got George Russell with the double S and double L. You got Kimi Antonelli has the double L. You got Lance Stroll. So you think Lance Stroll would be a quality driver for the number 2 seat?
Probably not.
Jack Doohan. That's it. That's all with the double O. So that is your list right there of potential successful Red Bull 2 drivers. I would count none of them as having any confidence of putting them in the second. Maybe George Russell. I'll give it to that. I mean, George Russell's having a fantastic season.
I would say which would be George Russell, probably.
But yeah, freaky. That just blew my mind there. You have Vettel, Ricardo, and Max Verstappen. All right, so let's get into Liam Lawson. I know we just talked about Yuki Tsunoda, who's at the top of the mountain. Who's packing their bags and taking a hike? And that's Liam Lawson. Now, you're heading to Japan. You got a new team. You got to take photos. You gotta take photos in your new outfit. You got to get refitted. How are you going to smile for these photos? Like, it's a lot more humiliating than just getting in that car in Japan. Yeah. There's all the media that goes around just being in a different paddock. You're going from the penthouse to the, I wouldn't say outhouse, but you're going from penthouse A to, like, I don't even know what the comparison is here. But Liam Lawson now has
it's not good.
Liam Lawson now has the opportunity, right? Every obstacle is going to present an opportunity. He 100% has to be better than Isaac Hadjar. He has to clearly come out this weekend and be better. If Isaac Hadjar is clearly better than Liam Lawson, as we said, Liam Lawson could end up out of Formula One in, I would say, a month or so. And I think your prediction, your bold prediction last week, which I know we got some kickback on online here as well, some pushback here, but it was a bold prediction and not a sensible prediction. But there's a possibility that Yuki ends up back in the V-Carb and someone else takes that second Red Bull spot, because the expectations are Q3s and points. And if you don't hit those expectations, I would say they were going to give him 3 to 4 races. They're not going to give him the season. They've already shown that there's a short hook for this second seat. So, yeah, I think the only sensible thing might be someone like, you mentioned Sebastian Vettel, mentioned Denny Ricciardo, and are they available? Can they do it? I have no idea. But 3 drivers in that second seat.
There was rumors floating around this week that they were talking, trying to get, we're probably going to start trying to talk to Colapinto to replace just Lawson, just get him out of here completely. So Lawson's on, he got demoted, but he's not off the hot seat. He's still in the cooker.
He's still in the cooker, but
he has to put up. He has to put up, or he ain't gonna have a seat. Period. As you said, maybe in the next month or two. Like, he's got to put up or shut up right now.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. And again, is it fair for Liam Lawson what's been going on? And bear with me here on this one. There was reliability issues in Bahrain. You go to Australia, it's wet. You got a wet weekend there. And you had some limitations in practice in China. So has Liam gotten the full fair shake here? It's questionable. No. But obviously finishing dead last.
At least 5-6 races would have been fair. Like at least a quarter of the season. Give somebody at least that.
Now, going back, I got one more question for you before we finish up here. And, of course, if you want to get in touch with the show, inthepaddockusa@gmail.com. Hit us up. Thank you all for hitting us up. Makes us all feel really good, and we like to bring up some points here on the show. As well as, of course, YouTube. Check out the YouTube channel. Just go in there, type in Greeny and the Cheese or In the Paddock F1 Podcast. You can check out the podcast there, which a lot of you have been downloading there. You can also check out some of the videos that we put out. We're going to try to put out shorts every single day with just little 15, 20, 30-second clips of what we got going on here. So if you don't want to listen to the whole show, you can check out some of the shorter clips. That's awesome as well. And thank you all for your support. So, yeah, getting back into the Yuki situation, you got Yuki Tsunoda who has almost 100 professional races versus Liam Lawson who had barely double digits in races. So are we going back and thinking, like, was this a mistake the entire time by Red Bull? And has Yuki shown that much of a step up in maturity to warrant this whole situation? Because he has 10 times more experience on an F1 track than Liam Lawson did coming in this season.
I mean, he definitely seems to be a lot more mature this year, but also the results really haven't been there either. So maybe you're getting the more mature driver. Somebody's been in the Formula One longer, but has the results really been there? And said to be the inferior car. So are we expecting him just to pop in this seat and start throwing results? I don't think that's probably coming, to be honest. I mean, he struggled putting results up the first 2 races here in the Racing Bull.
Just get out of Q1
to drive the Red Bull.
Get out of Q1. Like, let's start baby steps. We're doing baby steps towards success. All right? This is not like...
He has qualified good, but the race results have been atrocious. So you want him to qualify up front, that's all fine and dandy, but then if you don't finish in the points and you're Red Bull, that's not what they're looking for either.
I think Yuki is going to qualify in the first 2 rows for his home Grand Prix. Where he's going to finish, I have no clue. But I'm going Yuki first 2 rows. I know you didn't ask for a bold prediction, but you're getting one, okay? First 2 rows for Yuki in Japan. I wouldn't put money on it, but that's my bold prediction right there.
I'm not putting my cash up for it, but I'm gonna predict that.
You got a bold prediction here for Japan before we finish up?
Somebody else will be in the second seat. Red Bull. By the break or after the break. Somebody else is going to be in that seat.
That's probably fair. That's probably fair. Listen, again, thank you all. Thank you all. We are stepping up the social media game. I think we're going to be back on, first of all, we're on Blue Sky. I didn't even realize, I totally forgot I set up a Blue Sky account. We have a whole bunch of followers there. So we're going to get back on Blue Sky, make sure as well that we put it, all of our stuff up there, maybe some memes and some jokes like we used to put up there. So we're going to get back into that as well as back into the Instagram accounts. Make sure we have some reels up there and some of the videos that we show on YouTube as well. So crossing over, trying to spread a little love and trying to get more people involved as well. Thank you all for being involved. Those who listen weekly, those who reach out to us. We always appreciate it. Anything you want to say, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. We're big boys. We can handle it. So feel free to either compliment us or insult us. It's all good. Just reach out in the paddockusa@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube. I got the Blue Sky coming back and the Instagram coming back in the next week here or so. And so a fresh start in Japan, just like Yuki Tsunoda. So let's go. Say what you got to say, brother.
I will see you next week. In Japan. As always, stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.